Peace. The more they purse, centered around the purse, trying to get you to thirst. It's always going to be about that B first. Let's go with that intro. Peace to all my peoples and the ethos and the Estados Unidos. It is the Real HD Show, the higher discussion. Here to say a little something, drop a little facts. You know what I'm saying? So we can get it straight for the rest of the 21st century. How's everybody doing out there? I'm your humble host, the Vic 7, ready to get victorious out this piece. But before we do that, we are the Real HD Show, and those were our sponsors. All black sponsorships, all melanated sponsors. We got Redeem Vacations, bring 5 people to the Real HD Show on under your own accord, win a 3-night, 4-day vacation, destination of your choice. And also, Total Package Energy. When you're feeling sluggish and you need that pick-me-up, all natural ingredients to get you going, melanated first product. Go to their websites, support. So, before we jump into the crux in the mix of the show, we always do this first, right? Our elders and ancestors blueprint, because we are standing on the shoulders of greatness. Greatness got us here, but we need to celebrate that, pay homage to that. And we're going back to no other than Carlito's Way, at Carlito's Way 44 hip hop cartoons featuring El Haj Malik Shabazz. Who are you? Real HD Show, Ancestors Blueprint.
No, don't tell me Negro. That's nothing. What were you before the white man mean you a Negro? And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? What was your name? It couldn't have been Smith or Jones or Bunch or Powell. That wasn't your name. They don't have those kind of names where you and I came from. No, what was your name? And why don't you now know what your name was then? Where did it go? Where did you lose it? Who took it? And how did he take it? What tongue did you speak? How did the man take your tongue? Where is your history? How did the man wipe out your history? How did the man, what did the man do to make you as dumb as you are right now?
All right, peace. We are back, Real HD Show. That was the brother El Haj Malik Shabazz with Who Are You? Tell us who you are, man. Call us up. Here is the call letters. If you guys want to jump on live, you could do it as an avatar and just have a picture, or you could put your video up and we can have a whole conversation. Who are you? What are you? Are you what they say you are? Are you marching in your own independence? Who are you and what are you supposed to be? And that's the reason why we have the Real HD, the higher discussion. We want to get to it. So hit us up at StreamYard.com, MAG2A, J9ZRR. And you can share this also. Give it out, give it out, give it out. It's word of mouth. Give that joint out. Let everybody know we are in the building on the Real HD Show. Got some people coming in, hopefully. And if not, we depend on you to fuel the show. Either way, I am passionate. I am charged with delivering this information to you. It's a Wild Out Wednesday, so I figured I'd deliver this information about this wild thing happening in our community in the Alabama area that has taken the news by storm. And unless you was on 3 Hots in a Cot upstate, you probably heard, and even they also heard about the Bama Brawl, the Bama Boat Brawl. And that is what we are here for this evening. So join us. Let's talk about it. We titled this show a new standard or a one and done. Is the Bama Boat Brawl a one and done? Did brothers and sisters get together and defend one another in the proper way that they should have? Or can we make more of this? Or is this a one and done? Are we going to do this and then act like there's nothing else to gain out of this experience? Or are we seeking for a deeper meaning from this? Join us. It's the Real HD Show. We're going to have some fun. We might even tell some stories before it's done. You know what I'm saying? Hang out with us. But before we get too thick into it, we got to get to our Healthy, Wealthier, and Wiser, the AAT report right here on the radio. So yeah, it's the Real HD Show with the AAT report, and we have it coming from none other than, that's right, he's back. Go mob his channel on YouTube, Maccabee, with that healthy word for us like we need it. With that healthy word for us, so we can proceed with good speed. It's none other than Maccabee with a Woman Eat Wednesday health tip. Healthy, Wealthier, and Wiser AAT report on the Real HD Show. Check it out.
Pimento, How the Jamaican spice make the food taste nice. Pimento, how the Jamaican spice, aka allspice. One moment, uno momento. I'll be quick, I'll be pronto. I'm going to talk about pimento. Keep this as a memento. Pimento, the dried berry, for some recipes is necessary. Different berry is not ordinary. More than a spice, more than culinary. That berry from the pimento tree. Use a lot in enough recipe, but it's more than flavoring as you will see. Pimento seems to be very healthy. Upset stomach, keep it calm. Bruises, use as a balm. Colds, oils, rub on your arm. Pimento, I saw ya guan. Pain reliever, muscle relaxer, helps with nausea and diarrhea. Constipation helps the digestion. Menopause, inflammation, tastes like enough spices in a one, like nutmeg, cloves, and cinnamon. That's where the name allspice comes from. So them call it in England. To crush the pimento, get a vessel. You can use a mortar and pestle. Put them in a bottom, make them nestle. Crush them up steady. You don't have to wrestle. Pimento. I want me eat Wednesday. Yes, I
Yes, it's a One Me Eat Wednesday. And we have Maccabee. Blessings to the brother for letting us rock with that material. Get back on here with us and let us know, have you ever eaten pimento? Do you like the effects of pimento in your life? And, you know, a lot of folks in the community got Crohn's disease. A lot of folks in the community got leaky gut syndrome. A lot of folks in the community have that acid reflux disease. Eating way too much. Let me get my mic in this situation so we could be where we need to be officially. You know, Crohn's disease, acid reflux disease. It's a lot of things that could be attributed to respiratory and gut related ailments. And then, you know, my wife always tells me that she's a wellness executive. I'm not going to shout out the job, but shout out to where she does her thing. And she always tells me that, you know, 90% of the bodily health starts in the gut. Facts. 90% of the bodily health starts in the gut. So if you want to know where your health is, how's your gut health doing? You want that bowl straining? You want that bowl loose? How's your gut health? And once again, that was our AAT report. Healthy, Wealthy, and Wiser, helping us get that cellular power that we need to combat all these crazy things going on in 2023. Because this last 5 years has been out of control with a dummy stick. And we need to try to turn that around. And based on what we're here for tonight, seems like we might have an opportunity to do that. Because brothers was working it out and sisters were helping it out. And it's about time that we get there. But before we go to that story, we are going to talk about pimento. What's going on with that? Let us know. Pop it in the chat. Pop it in the timestamp. Let us know if you eaten pimento. Have you crushed pimento? Does your family have a history and a lineage of using pimento in irregular ways, or homeopathic ways that the average the average commercial cats don't do it? They want us to buy their super inflationary products, you know what I mean, and make ourselves broke with that with that convalescence, you know what I mean, that planned obsolescence, you know what I mean, things that break easily over time and easily bought over again just to enrich them and make them wealthy. Whereas we can take care of our own health and wealth on the Real HD Show. So tap in, man. If y'all in the ethos, we blasting off from 5 Facebook channels, YouTube, Twitch TV, Twitter. I'm having a bit of a spot with Instagram, but we'll get that fixed. We'll get that up and running, up and popping. If we won't get the video live, we'll get the video on replay on Instagram. But don't forget to join in, watch the replays. Timestamp what you think about Pimento. Go mob Maccabee's site on YouTube. Go mob his channel. He got mad dope stuff that I ain't even played. I play a lot of his stuff, but go fair use, fair use, fair use. That is my brother in spiritual. That is my brother in essence. That is my melanated brother. I will play his stuff. He will play my stuff. And if you want those things, go seek out those delicate pieces of information and righteousness so you can move on progressive for the rest of the 21st century here on the Real HD Show. That's why we playing chestnut checkers, and we're here for this tonight, a new standard or a one and done, the Bama Boat Brawl. Now, on Wednesdays, we usually do, the stories, the shows that, are kind of off kilter. They kind of off the beaten path. They're not the typical ones. They're not the hardcore ones. You know what I mean? But we want to get to them. We want to give them life. We want to give them love. We want to give a clap. I would do a clap soundtrack, but we don't want to be artificial right now. We want to give those brothers and sisters who, at that boat brawl, decided to defend their kin, their native men, their brothers and sisters, and they did just that. And we're going to go right to it. We're going to go right to it with a quick vid, and then we'll be back to talk about what happened with the Bama boat brawl right here on the Real HD Show. Check it out.
Who parked there were told not to leave it there, and they left it there.
So that's how it's going down, man. That's how it went down. And I'm going to read a little article.
Who parked there were told.
I'm going to read an article about it so that you can see more of what this was, how it came to be, and get a little perspective of it. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get to it, do it on a Real HD Show. Because, of course, we want to have a higher or more in-depth conversation about the Bama Boat Brawl. And this is out of the Atlantic Black Star, melanated newspaper out of Atlanta. It says the site of Alabama riverfront brawl has a dark racist history. Some see the melee as a full circle moment. Now, this was done on this by Nico Mann, and it was published on August 8th, just yesterday. So it says a brawl that broke out in Montgomery, Alabama, August 5th at the Riverfront Park. Happened near a historical site with a racist past. Downtown Montgomery used to be the site of a domestic slave trade, and enslaved people were transported on Alabama River and unloaded at the dock of Commerce Street. So this was exactly where these are hollowed halls, right? Hollowed halls, hollowed walkways. These pathways have significance. And as you can see the white dude who decided to, throw the first punch. And then, of course, 3 or 4 dudes decided to jump in. The chaotic scene was divided between race lines that reportedly began after a black co-captain on the Harriet II riverboat, the owner of a pontoon boat, asked the owner of a pontoon boat to move the white guys because it was parked in a spot of the waiting dinner cruise boat carrying multiple passengers who happened to be melanated. He was attacked by multiple white people after they refused to move their boat, and several black men came to his aid, witnessing the attack. That's a small way to describe what actually happened. Pulitzer Prize winning journalist Hannah Nicole Jones noted that Montgomery's long racist history and the fact that the city recently elected Stephen Reed its first black mayor in more than 60% black city. If you understand the history of Montgomery as one of the most prolific slave trading cities in the U.S., turned brutally aggressive apartheid regime after majority black but just got its first black mayor, it gives so much hope to the perspective to this video. Trust, Hannah Nicole Jones said. Now we're going to hear some comments. Ida B. Wells, if you understand the history of Montgomery, it says a group of white men attacked the boat security guard after asked them to move their pontoon boat so the big Harriet can dock. They refused to and attacked the security guard. A group of black men seen and went defended him by beating the white man. And here's some videos. I'll play a couple of them because here's his sister, Shannon, and she has a perspective on it. I'll play it right now. Oh, I have to share. All right, hold on. I have to share this part of the video. So let me stop sharing that. And then let me share again. Let me share one more again. This window here. Okay. Because although this is a picture of the white folks. Can you guys even see that? No, I don't think you can. Now you can. Okay, there you go. There it is. All right, let me go. Let me bring that full. So this is Shannon, and she had a post about this. And I really didn't want to see the fight again, but there's Aqua Boy. He, saw the melee happening and the fact that the brother was by himself and swam as fast as he humanly could to get to the melee. And now these cats is walking away when brothers is coming through to get it in. All right, so let's go to this one.
Now come about that boat, baby. They ready to move now. They ready to move now. You ready to run? Yeah.
So I guess this is the scene of the people who didn't dock on the boat, and they saw what was going on from the distance. And when they got off the boat, they was ready to handle business.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Woo!
Brother stole on him. And you know what's interesting about that? So everybody, unless you don't know, everybody pretty much knows, whoever's been checking out this particular story kind of knows that Brothers worked it out. The palm colored folks got their tail whooped, even though they started something. And you know, these are some, interesting ways to look at this. Here's another scene where it continued on. Because I guess these fools didn't have enough. This one brother got to doing his WWE impersonation. Thank you, Shannon, for putting this on your phone and being as diligent as possible. Brothers was getting it in, sisters was getting it in. They were protecting their own. They called the young man who swam to their aid Black woman, as it were. I wanted to get to a couple of comments that were on here. Now let me go back. I wanted to see some comments. I wanted to talk about some of the comments. Let's see. Ulterior says, brother threw his hat all dramatic, like someone wasn't attacking him with the alien face. Yeah, he did. He did come through like, all right, let's get it in. You know what I mean? Like, right there it is. Hey, now he got caught. He got beamed up a little bit. He got rocked up a little bit because he messing around waiting for that hat to fly to make some sort of boxer's entrance to the fight when it wasn't necessary, right? Let's read some other ones. Get all them. Hexy Minaj fan account says that's another post. Let me see. Show replies. Let's see. Let's see if we got some contrary applies to what's happening. He said the last time I saw black people happy like that, it was when Orenthal James Simpson was acquitted. Good call. Good call on that one. Let's see. Let's see if there's some other Goddess Vicky. Good. Lock them up. Disrupted a whole event with families. Threw a whole tantrum on security, all because they didn't want to move their boat. Colleen says it would be good if they let one person speak instead of confusing the officer because he can't hear all y'all at once. I guess she might have been like live to the set. And then the person CRG says, nobody asked you, Karen. All right. Did the girl in the blue too? She sprayed mace and kicked that security guard while he was down. Then had the nerve to sob when she got that treatment back. Here's a white woman saying, Susanna Dugard, the white guy started it all. Hope their asses rot in jail. It's an interesting one. It's shit like that lead to racist wars. Hey, that's what we want to talk about on the Real HD show. We want to talk about, is this something that's going to have some sort of pushback? Now, there's some loose mummerings out there that there might be some pushback. They in that Bama. They in that, they in that area where they like to burn them things. They like to do their thing on the low and plan they little trivial, they little terrorism on the low. They don't like to come out, they don't like to come outside, because if they come outside in broad daylight, this is what's kind of waiting for them. So I just wanted to read a couple of posts, read a couple of, this is one of the dudes that, the three dudes that started the fight and jumped the security dude. I think that helped him too. The fact that he was a security guard helped him tremendously, with his claim as to not, you know, being a, you know, catalyst of the fight, not starting the fight. He was part of the security. And then, of course, there was mega witnesses, a whole boat full of witnesses saying what happened. And that's pretty much it with that, the visuals of that. So we're going to just chop it up for a minute, man. So, you know, like we said in the interim, we said, is this a new standard? Meaning, is this the new vanguard? Is this the new, can we depend on this to protect our brothers and sisters and our brothers and sisters to ride for us the way they're supposed to when these things come afoot? So we don't have to hear about Ahmaud Arbery's. We don't have to hear about Daniel Prudes. If somebody see it, they act on it. We don't have to hear about it secondhand. You know, the police, you know, drag some man naked in the street and put a bag over his head and killed him in recent time. Out of control. Police put their knee on some man's neck for over almost 10 minutes and killed him, and nobody did anything. You know, we need to bring that same energy. We need to keep that same energy when we get to that popo. And yeah, I know they got weapons. That's fine too. But we need to keep that same energy. We need to be as physical. We need to do those things. And then in a lot of ways, even be more strategic with the way that we respond to these atrocities that happen to our people. Because to make no mistake, there's over 120 racial-based riot incidents that put over 40 melanated cities and turn them into either underground rivers and lakes or national parks. That means we have 40 plus cities in the United States that were melanated, created at one point. And I'm not saying brothers and sisters didn't try to defend themselves, but we gotta be willing to ride for each other in this very same way. Not in a sensational way, but in a way that's going to be productive, or at least bring the brothers and sisters at the moment to a place of safety. You know what I mean? And I think, again, when you think about something like this, I think the fact that they didn't want to move their boat was white privilege at its best. Palm-colored privilege at its best. I don't think it gets no deeper than that. I think because of the, you know, biology, culture, environment of Alabama and the history of where they were, a Wall Street of sorts, where they traded and sold melanated people back in the day, back in the terroristic day, right? The real nasty, evil day, right? Not that today is much different. It's a little bit different in degrees, right? Always about them degrees. And they were smelling themselves, you know, they had their finger under their nose like, yo, I'm the greatest, right? And they didn't think they were going to be met with this sort of response. I just know they didn't. And I think they basically thought this is not an area where melanated people congregate most of the time, and that they could, in effect, get away with murder. And I think if it was under the cover of night, I think if it was under the cover of sheets, I think that if it was under the cover of artillery, meaning firepower, I think they would have tried to kill that brother. I really do. I think that brother would have been passed, honestly. Yeah, man. So when we see this, we got to act on it. When we see it, we got to act on it. That's kind of how I grew up. I'm not going to age myself, but when we saw something, we acted on it. I mean, we weren't always able to get the upper hand. Sometimes we caught our ass whipping. Sometimes we didn't. But you defended yourself and you learned how to be a man while doing it. And you learn how to stick up for your community while doing it. Now, what we should do, and maybe our audience can participate and let me know about this. Can we form, can we, the NFAC, can we get that going down there? Can we take this protection vanguard mantra to the next level? Can we do it? Can we invoke the blueprint, right? Like we always talk about the elders and ancestors blueprint. Can we look at the blueprint of a FOI who do security and take our strategy and our energy for the security that we just invoked, take it to the next level? Black Panther level, NOI level, NFAC level. Levels that include legislation so that we can turn our protection into a cultural idiom where we're doing it all the time for all the right reasons. Can we do that? I mean, let us know. Put it in the chat. Can we take this level of protection and sophisticate it? Turn it into a cultural normalcy so that our brothers and sisters know where to go and know the channels to walk down and walk through, so that our sisters know where to go, so that our sisters know the channels to walk down and walk through and activate when they're in times of security and in times of need. And did we already have a lot of these things in place? But brothers and sisters was looking past it because we stopped believing that this was possible. Put it in the chat, man. Let us know. Let us know on the Real HD Show. Let's have a higher discussion about it. Let's not have this be a one-off, man. Let's not have this be a one and done. Let's build off the momentum of this. Let's make this a normalcy, a normal thing. Let's put some frequency behind this, because I know I'm tired of hearing news stories of brothers getting shot, sisters getting shot by crooked cops, by, racist PC people who just want to tee off because they can. And because they think they got that complexion for the protection, and ain't nothing gonna happen to them if they do it. You gotta let them know it's another day and it's a new day. But once again, I think we need to be a little more advanced than that. I think we need to push for legislation that also protects us from a cultural standpoint. And like the Real HD Show wants to do, if you see PC people doing things like this, not only do they get arrested, but you create a algorithm within the credit unions where their credit starts to suffer for every racial misdeed, for every racial crime that they commit. And it should be big time. I mean, with the racial crime that they committed, those few cats, those few individuals, they shit should be in the tank, man. If it was at 800 or 700, it should be in like the 400s or the 500s overnight. That should be the ultimate. I mean, if folks have any integrity in this country, that should be the ultimate way that folks are penalized. Hit that credit, hit them pockets, make them interest rates rise, affect how much money people got to pay into living in this country and the classification that they have to go through by living in this country. More than 3 of them incidents, you go to jail permanently. You take a nice 20-year nap in your local hot box. You know what I'm saying? So let us know, man. Do you have some solutions to how we take the strategy for defense to the next level for our communities? This not only does this need to happen, but we need to rally in our civic groups, our organizational groups, our community groups, our spiritual groups, whatever groups you belong to, and make this thing make exercise and self-defense and you know, melee defense, perimeter defense around an event that you know you believe in. Make that a regular part of what you do and how you get through within your community. Let's not have this be a one-off. You heard it right here first on the Real HD Show. But when we're going to switch gears into Power to the People news. Yeah, man, wait. What just happened? This just happened. So just like we were talking about, we were just talking about affecting these people in their pocket. But as you can see, there are factions all over the world that are not waiting to affect people's pockets right now. Unless if you haven't been paying attention to the show, we've been covering this for quite a long time. Central bank digital currency. And it first started with the WEF and the world leaders in Davos and what they want to create. And then the BRICS nations got involved. Britain, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And they created the BRICS nations central banking digital currency. And then just this July, the Federal Reserve changed the definition of money. They're going to ruin the standard of the dollar bill and replace it with a central banking digital currency off the hot heels of cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Ethereum and others, with a system called FedNow, which is instant payments from supermarkets, chains, money, instant money transfers, and then the government will get their taxes first. The businesses can process their payments first. It's all business government related first. And then, of course, in order to get this going, there has to be a voluntary consent by you, the people, about how this is all going to pop off. And Christina Lagarde, which is the commerce minister in England, she was pranked by these two cats pretending to be the leader of the Ukraine, and got an earful. They were pranking. It was a prank. It was essentially a prank. They didn't expect it to actually work. But what it did was they found some way of getting in touch with her on a secure line. They did a mocking of the man's voice, right? The leader of the Ukraine. And they got her to talk about the plans for the World Economic Forum, Europe, and how it was going to impact central banking digital currency, which is the new money to come along. That's why we don't pay with money anymore. It's all plastic. It's all charged. It's all chipped. It's all digital, right? So she told them a lot of information. Like, for instance, there are going to be caps on spending limits. And people will go on alert lists based on how much money they spend at a given time. So in other words, like if you spend $400 more in one setting, you go on what's called a gray list. And if that sort of thing continues, but the taxation and the bank account doesn't match up with the expenditures, you get put on what's called a gray list. Yeah, very interesting, right? And what they think is we don't know that palm colored folk are getting their money through wealth transfers. That's one of the major ways that the boomers and the greatest generation are dying off, and they're leaving their money to their significant others that are X's and millennials through wealth transfers. So in other words, what's good for the goose ain't good for the gander. It's okay for the white boy to park his boat on the dock when he ain't supposed to and not move. But when a whole liner full of melanated folk need to dock, they can act like they got privilege, you know? So I want to show you guys a couple of things, and then we're going to get out of here. Unless anybody wants to talk further about this. We're going to show you guys a letter to the better from one interesting bank talking about and talking about that very voluntary consent that they depend on to move things and move you in a sleight of hand way to be involved with this new FedNow CBDC system. Now, notice, was this on anybody's presidential campaign? You heard mums the word about CBDC. Was this on anybody's congressional soft seat campaign? FedNow, was that on anybody's campaign radar, or was that anybody's campaign agenda? Getting people to give permission for central banking digital currency? Nope. But this is how they intend to get you and your accounts. Now, why is this important for melanated folks? Why? Because we're the first ones that they attack the bank accounts of. The IRS, the state and local governments, they attack your money through these accounts, through these nonsense accounts that you don't really need. What you really need to do is diversify your money through several private secure cards and not even have straight bank accounts. Or if you do have one and you do have direct deposit because of your JO, as soon as you get paid, you go into that digital world and divide that money up 5 ways real quick in ways that people can't track you, that you can spend your money. But let's get to it. So shout out to the IFB site. They're saying that we are pleased to share that on July 24th, we will introduce a new operating system and digital platform that will help us bring you important enhancements, including a new lineup of products and services. So this is from Webster Bank, which is a local bank in the United States. And they're bringing you this letter showing you how they're going to try to, get you to voluntarily consent to having the central banking digital currency and FedNow become a normal part of your financial transactions. So you see what they say here? We are introducing a system and digital platform. See, and then they try to entice you with the new lineup of product and services. So that's right. So that means when you go to your bank and you apply for that car loan and they deny you, that's a product and a service. When you go to your bank and you apply for a home loan or a secondary loan or second mortgage on your home or third mortgage, whatever you might need, car loan, bank loan, home loan, personal loan, and they deny you, these are the products and services that they are talking about, that most melanated folks on the outside of looking in. Very, very few, very, very fractioned off. So this is one of the, kind of welcome, kind of standard letters that they'll give you. Once again, shout out to the IFB web channel on YouTube for bringing this information, and I am relaying it because it's important for us, right? So they want to tell you that they are operating in your best interest, and these are some new things that are going to come and affect your banking and your financial in a financial way, in your financial transactions. So it says a personal account summary. This is more of the letter that's kind of darker in the back that you can't really see. A personalized account summary that identifies your new deposit account that will have been carefully selected to bring you product features and benefits comparable to those you have today. So once again, greasing the palms, right? Greasing the palms and trying to grease your backside without you knowing it. Our update account disclosures booklet contains terms and conditions you should review and retain for your records. These are terms of your new legal contract. So right away, that's duress and coercion. Right away, because you didn't give them permission to create this. And I doubt that them having carte blanche to create a brand new contract without you knowing it under your nose is not within the underwriting of your bank contract. Or maybe it is. Maybe you should read that fine print a little finer. How financial regimes shift without you knowing. Yeah, man, this is the way that they're going to subtly move what they want to do, and with how they want to subtly move you into a CBDC, central banking digital currency, that's done by FedNow before. And don't get me wrong, they were all in competition. There's about 5 or 6 people with a central banking digital currency aimed at the United States. So what's changing based on Webster Bank, right? Or the kind of, example bank, right? What's changing? And they'll see what won't change: your account number, your checks, your deposits, your automated payments, debit cards, online and mobile usernames and passwords. So you say, okay, that's cool. I can get behind that. That's pretty much a lot of the banking that I do, right? So this is longer and specific, but what's short and not so specific is some account features. Well, what account features? Your online experience, a new interface, and capabilities. But isn't that important to how you process your account? How your checks are processed? How your direct deposit gets automated and processed? Your debit cards? All of it. For details, please refer to important topics. See details. Program shift formula. Keep things appearing the same. Providing distance for their FedNow program and you. Now, why are they providing distance? Okay, why do they want to be known as just a local bank and not something that is on the up and up, or they don't want to let you know that they are right away participating with FedNow, right? Which is going to be, like I told you about Christina Lagarde, they can put limits on how you use your money and what you use your money for. So they want to put distance between themselves because they know that, and I'm just waiting for this picture to come up. If you look at umbrella institutions that these young Webster banks or your young, I don't know if Manhattan still has Isla Bank, or I forget the popular Spanish bank that is right around 110th Street in Manhattan. Popular, it might be called. But if you see Webster Bank, if you look at this slide here, Webster Bank is a division of FizServ Solutions LLC. And FizServ LLC is now under the payment guise of FedNow. FedNow, early adopter institution, service providers supporting payment processings for financial institutions. So you have ACT, Worldwide Corp, FizServ, all the way down to Verimti Software LLC, and Open Payment Network, which almost sounds like Open Society Foundation headed by Soros and the Soros Foundation, right? Keeping things the same so you don't think anything has changed when in reality everything has changed. So what we need to do though is really be keen about the financial institutions and who their umbrella corporations are. And if you have to look into your contracts or look into your banking, really underwriting and find out who are their grandfather or bigger corporations. And are they in league with Fed now? And did you, as a banker or any of your banking peers, give your bank permission to be in league with someone who's going to move your accounts unknowingly? And how did they move your accounts? Well, you saw that letter, right? That letter was basically telling you that they're moving the bank into a brand new contractual obligation with PhysiServe, and PhysiServe is in league as a company with an umbrella company called Federal Now. CBDC, instant payments. And don't get me wrong, Texas has a CBDC because they're battling WEF and Fed Now and all of the things that are manifesting and matriculating themselves as we speak. And then even Elon Musk has gotten into the game and has created his own CBDC. So you have a lot of different factions all over the world competing for your money, competing to control your finances. So just as we talked about it, we got BRICS, we got Fed Now in the United States, we got the Texas Gold Bullion CBDC, we got Elon Musk, and he's trying to promote his CBDC through Twitter, right? And then, of course, depending on where you are and what locale and regionality you're from, you can create your own CBDC as well to rival and compete with the dollar globally, because the aim and the goal is, of course, that one world government, like they've been trying to do for the last 40 years. And also the aim and the goal is to destroy the dollar and to destroy speculative interests all over the world so that everybody falls in line with this one uniform CBDC. And whoever can reach a popular state across, let's say, maybe 2 or 3 continents at a time is going to win the CBDC war of the next 10 years. So we want to protect ourselves as melanated people who work super hard for what we get and are super, have a lot of phobias about finances, a lot of fear, a lot of mistrust, a lot of dysfunction related to money, related to relationships and money, related to making money, related to the acquisition and the transition of wealth and power. We have a lot of issues with that. Almost, so much so that it's an emotional thing for a lot of us. I had to, stop communicating with a couple of my nearest and dearest because they were, I consider, emotionally immature about money. So, if we're that emotionally dysfunctional about it and frantic and manic, then we need to pay attention and act accordingly so that we don't have to be taken advantage of by the world at large. I proposed that we create our own nation state and apply for a BRICS membership. Honestly, I mean, brothers and sisters during the Harlem Renaissance were trying to do that themselves. And then, of course, they got called communists, they got called nativists, and, every slander in the book. But, we're still a state without a nation. You know what I mean? Melanated people in the United States. Calling ourselves every pronoun in the book, and now every sex-based pronoun in the book, gender-based pronoun in the book. All a distraction from us being as, proactive on our own destinies as possible. And it shows because, we're way too wrapped up in their economic formulas, their economic perspectives, and their economic systems. We're dependent. It's not like we're doing business with them and they're doing business with us. They own 90% of retail nationwide. Nationwide, 90% of retail revenue comes from Dub S businesses. And everybody else is fighting for that 7% that comes after that. And I think we're only at like maybe 3 or 4% of that. So, we have to be very, very vigilant of what we're doing. And then, of course, you'll hear people that are going to tell you to do this, right? They're going to tell you to jump on the horn and do this, buy into this at a turbulent time when the whole bag is changing. So, we used to rock, oh, I'm going to get a bag. I got a bag. I'm going to get to bag. Get to the bag. Even the shorties, get to the bag, right? So these are Wall Street EFTs on gold and the faith that they have in gold. But it's really fool's gold because even a blockchain in itself as a digital entity is fool's gold. So if you drown all your assets in an algorithm that's virtual, when they're changing the whole virtual landscape of how money is acted and counteracted online, and you don't wait to see the dust settle. So I know the way a lot of people, correspond with it, buy low, sell high, or, the opposite, buy low, sell high, that sort of thing. But they're trying to make virtual, especially with the NFTs, things, raw materials in the real world. Raw materials in the real world, they're trying to make those raw materials just as valuable. They're trying to make virtual materials just as valuable as raw materials. And if you put your money behind these things without getting any guarantees from them, what you're going to get for your hard-earned resources and materials, and that includes money, right? Then you're allowing them to lead you wherever they want you to be led. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then why do we even have a vanguard? Why are we even protecting each other if we just going to be lambs to the slaughter? So I just wanted to show y'all that, man, because, a lot of people want to get on here and we want to talk about Keke Palmer, and we want to talk about, we're going to talk about all kind of stuff that really isn't meeting the standard or making ends meet or really moving the needle, moving the proverbial needle. Well, how you manage and transition your resources is going to make and move the proverbial needle. I think there was one more chart I want to show you. Yeah, this one here. All right, so this will be the last one. We're going to land our plane on the Real HD show with this one. Okay. So, once again, we're talking about, voluntary consent. And they'll tell you that if you get down, they'll give you, they'll give you baubles and trinkets. You know what I mean? I'll give you 3 beans if you sell. I'll give you 3 magic beans if you sell me your cow. You know what I'm saying? Those types of trinkets and baubles. So let's look at it. Continue to use your current website current Webster Visa debit card with your existing PIN to access your account. Starting July 24th of 23, you'll gain access to more than 400,000 Money Pass ATMs across the country with no surcharge, right? Excuse me. Today, more than 2,000 organizations and 60 million cardholders rely on Money Pass network from FizServe. And again, FizServe is the grandfather company of this Webster Bank, and all the local banks have grandfather companies that are in charge of them that have adopted FedNow as their payment CBD money transition and processor. And they're doing it all under your nose. And it's going to come as subtle as a letter with some trinkets and some baubles attached. Will I receive more gold for my labor in your nation? They're going to try to convince you that they're going to give you more gold. They're going to give you more trinkets and baubles. This is a real letter written to a real person within this year, telling them how they're going to change banking, financing, transition of money, and processing of money. And if we are supposed to be, if they're giving lip service to the fact that we are supposed to be democracy, then things like this should not be happening without the will of the people. You know what I mean? So let's build on it. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. Let me know about what you think about this subtle contractual pimp juice greasing the booty hole without consent. That's financial rape for sure. Let us know how you feel about this. Are you down for it? Do you think a one world governance will even the playing field and create more parity? What do you think? I don't think so. I think it's all about hegemony and power. I think it's about moving the world into the fourth industrial revolution and doing it without your without your consent. And the way we're moving right now as a people, they're going to get that consent without a whole hell of a lot of fight. And we can't let that happen. Because if we let that happen, then we just straight slipping. And we could throw our hands and fight. But there's a different level, a higher strategy of fighting that they're doing. And that's what we on the Real HD Show would love for you guys to join us in a serious cipher about. Come through next time, Monday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 or 10 p.m. I go to 9 p.m. if I'm just relaying the information. If we got guests and we got dialogue, I have no problem moving it into 10, even 10:30. If we building, if the heat is moving, if the turbines are moving, if the pistons are gathering, if the jets are firing and we moving on all cylinders, I ain't got no problem rocking out. So I'm your brother, the Vic, wishing you peace and walk with power. And let's create a higher level of the vanguard and of the protection that we know we can have for one another, city to city, state to state, country to country, so that this Bama win wasn't a one and done. Peace, y'all. Y'all have a good evening.